leaving America for Paraguay in South America. I'm here joined by an American family of 5 who just arrived here in Paraguay. And let's hear what everyone has to say. Why did you come to Paraguay? Do you want to start out, Stephen?
We came because of the monetary advantages that a family could have on a fairly modest income, but also the family values here are extremely prevalent. You can see it. You can see it in the families. You can see it all around you. Very family friendly, and it's just such a pleasure to be here and have my family be a part of it.
What's it like being in Paraguay as a mother of 3?
Honestly, this trip has been great. We could have come down, just Stephen and I, but for me as a parent, I needed to have kind of that perspective of how I felt being here with kids abroad, and it has been amazing the entire time. The kids have loved it. We've loved it. We love having the kids with us. It seems like most of the places we've gone, there's been something for the kids. You know, like Stephen said, it's very family oriented. The kids are a big focus, it seems, and we've really appreciated that.
You applied for Paraguay Residency last week. What was the process like? Was it difficult? Were there any hurdles?
If I may back up just a little bit, when I was researching a Plan B option for my family, it's very complicated. Especially, I don't speak Spanish, and I'm trying to learn, but I don't really have the ear for it, unfortunately. And I was starting to wonder, if it was even possible. And for a little while, I gave up on even coming down here. But I found Nomad Elite. And something went from the impossible to the possible, from where I was running out of options for my family to all of a sudden a huge swath of the world. The planet was opened up to us. And we absolutely appreciate what Nomad Elite has done. They you planned for every possible contingency except for torrential downpours because we had a rainstorm right before one of my appointments and everything. So it was delayed, but it was rescheduled. Everything was paid for. Everything that you see in the videos that you put out is true. And it's been an absolute pleasure to work with you. And it's made the path smooth and absolutely doable where it was not before.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, Rachel, if you can comment in a few words, why did you choose us and not another service provider? Because there are so many out there. Why Nomad Elite? Why not somebody else?
Honestly, that was Stephen that did all the decision making on that. He is the one that did all the research on it. He would show me the videos, so I'm very familiar with you. But he did talk about, pros and cons of, you versus other, providers and everything. And Nomad Elite just always came out on top. So for us, it was really easy.
You analyzed real detail.
It's a big decision to make when you don't really know what you're doing or anything like that. And yeah.
Magnifying glass.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If I may speak to that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, please tell us.
See, the thing about Nomad Elite is there's so much more information out there in comparison to a lot of the other companies. Some of them may put out a video and updating like on Paraguayan requirements, the requirements for residency and whatnot every now and then. You keep a steady stream of information coming, and so just by following you and tracking the information that you need to be aware of, it's so much easier. And yeah, you have a bigger presence out there than these other ones, and those other ones might provide some benefit, but for getting the most bang for your buck, it's Nomad Elite.
Why did you come to Paraguay? What do you like about Paraguay?
I really love the food around here. It's very good. I didn't think it'd be this kind because I watched this show called 72 Dangerous Animals. It showed all these animals, and it looked like it just looked like Paraguay was like being destroyed by dangerous animals.
Or that was gonna be scary.
Yeah, and then we started leaving. I was really scared. We got here, and I was just having a great time. And then 2 days later, I found out it was like actually not scary. It wasn't like there wasn't that many like Well, there's a lot of mosquitoes, yeah, but but there's not a lot of like those rattlesnakes. It's just a really great place.
All
I
right.
love it.
That was very good. Thank you so much. Do you want to comment a little bit too? What's the favorite part of you being here in Paraguay? What do you like the most?
I like that like there's lots of pretty cats around here.
Oh, that's very important. That's
Yeah,
very
for sure,
important.
for
yeah.
sure.
Nobody wants ugly cats, right?
Nope.
Just pretty cats.
And there's some that reminds me of my cat at home.
Very friendly.
And so, the parks are very fun.
Lots of them.
They're way different than our parks in Idaho. So, yeah.
Wow, thank you. I appreciate you sharing your opinion too. Like overall, in terms of family friendliness, which place wins? The US or Paraguay? And even if it's not Paraguay, like for me, that's fine. Like, or if you want to point out maybe some things where the US does better than Paraguay, then that's fine as well.
I've been in a lot of places. This is my first time to South America, but so far, family friendliness, it's got to go to Paraguay because, you know, it's not only in the people, but it's also in the way the government is set up, in the government facilities and everything. Like I've said, the signs say, hey, pregnant women and children are preferred in their place in line and everything. And you can also feel it in the culture, the family friendly venues here. You know, they set up little playgrounds and parks and everything where they do that some in Europe, but not so much in the U.S. You got to go to special places for parks. But like Maddie says, the parks are all over the place, and they're a lot more entertaining than American parks because they just have more of a spectrum of playground toys and everything. It's just you see it everywhere, where it's a lot more family oriented here than it is in any place that I've ever lived.
Wow, that's quite a remarkable statement. I did not expect that. How would you rate Paraguay in terms of family friendliness?
2 thumbs up. It really has been great. Like I said, we're from small town Idaho, so coming here to a big city is very different. I don't think we necessarily went through a big culture shock or anything like that, but I haven't had any uneasiness walking the streets, whether in the daylight or at night, with the kids. We felt very safe. Hasn't, and I can't always say that about, places in the U.S. that we've gone. There's times in the daylight I don't want to go out with my kids, depending on where we are. And we haven't really experienced that here. We haven't ventured out a whole lot here in the city. We've just kind of stuck into little pockets, but overall it's been a great experience having the kids with us and feeling safe and comfortable and welcome, where that might not always be the case in the U.S. When you come in with kids, you kind of get treated a little differently or ignored sometimes, depending on where you are in the situation, and that hasn't been the case here. It's been very welcoming.
I'm delighted to hear that.
Yeah.
Do you have any final words to pass on, Stephen, or you would say, if you're skeptical about coming to Paraguay, if you're an American family and you're skeptical about coming here, maybe something that you can say that would alleviate a little bit of that skepticism?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that, I'm an American. I love my country. She's quite great. But just so you know, there are other places out there. There's other situations you can set yourself up with that are very good, and oftentimes it's better than what you can find in the U.S. This place isn't perfect, but nowhere is. And given the trajectory of the United States, it's not getting any better anytime soon. I wish I could take my country and wash her face and dry her eyes and make everything better. But it's gotten to the point where I can't do that. And if you're thinking about a different place, maybe somewhere else in the U.S. is going to be safer and more family oriented. But that's not the only place in the world. There are other places that can be had, and getting here, it might be remote, but once you're here, it's a lot more affordable and a lot more fun in many cases.
Well, I appreciate you 5 coming here and sharing your opinions with us, your first-hand experience.
I would like to say one more thing.
Yes, please, tell us.
Paraguay rules!
That was great. Well, thank you for coming again. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you're interested in moving to Paraguay, if you're an American family, if you're interested in coming here, go to nomadelite.com and click on book a consultation. I look forward to talking to you and welcoming you to this beautiful country. Thank you so much, and we see you on the next video.
Bye.
Fantastic.